What's up everyone, this is Tranquil Toys back with another review, and today I'm taking a look at the brand new Masters of the Universe Origins Cartoon Collection Prince Adam and Cringer 2-pack. So this has been a 2-pack I've been waiting for a while. Really disappointed that we haven't gotten a classic Prince Adam in the Masterverse 7-inch line, but now we have, based on the cartoon, Prince Adam from the Cartoon Collection line, which is the newer line, the branching off the Origins line from Mattel. So really glad to have these figures in the collection. I really like the way they look. Pretty faithful recreation of what they look like in the cartoon. And I didn't just get these figures to have these figures. I don't really collect this line, but I kind of got it to sort of mix it with the Masterverse line, which I do collect. And you'll see what that looks like later in the video. First thing I want to start out is I want to show off the packaging because it's actually a pretty good box. So you can see here the art on the back of the box is pretty cool. Would be pretty sick to display this on your wall or something. You can see another part of the packaging right there on the very top where you can see Prince Adam chilling with Cringer. So now we can get into the figures. First thing I want to mention is how clean the colors look, and the paint applications. Everything is very clean. It's not a whole lot of paint. It's mostly molded in this plastic, but you can see here the skin tone is painted on the white body, and it's clean. It's not like messy or anything. And the head sculpt came out really clean. We've seen this before. Came with the Cartoon Collection He-Man figure, and we get the same head on the Prince Adam figure, and I really like the execution of that. Very classic. We also get his sword, which again, we've seen that before. Not too bad. The head sculpt is on a ball joint, so you get good articulation out of that. It also shifts side to side. For the shoulder, you have a hinge that goes into a pin, so you can swivel, and you can hinge it in and out. No bicep swivel, which is fine, doesn't really need it. You get the swivel at the elbow and the hinge also, so that's not too bad. And then a hinge and a swivel on the hand. And then for the sword holding hand, it actually has a vertical hinge, so you can get more accurate movement with the sword. So that's pretty cool. If you're not familiar with these figures, there's no torso articulation besides a swivel. And then the hips are actually on a ball joint, but it's kind of restricted for some reason. It doesn't feel like it moves as much as it could have, so that they definitely need to go back and engineer that a little bit more. Probably some interference with the plastic running into each other. The sculpt on his leg is also very weird. I know they did that to accommodate for the articulation, but it just looks kind of gross. He's got like a tumor on his leg. Hinge and swivel for the knees, single jointed. You get a boot rotation, boot swivel, and then you get a hinge and swivel at the ankle as well. So it might not seem like a lot of articulation, but it's actually pretty decent amount. You're able to kind of work around some of the hindrances, and you can get some pretty cool poses out of these figures. And this figure also came with an alternate head sculpt, which is one of the reasons why I had to have this 2-pack for this head sculpt right here. So it's this classic laughing head sculpt. Again, it's sort of disappointing that we never got this kind of head sculpt with the Masterverse figures, 7-inch line. Probably they're going to release a Prince Adam figure in the future. I mean, they kind of have to at this point. I know we had the one from the new show, but that one sucks. He looks like a beta. So this is really cool that they included this head sculpt. Very good execution. Now we'll take a look at the second part of this 2-pack, which is Cringer. This Cringer figure might be better than the Prince Adam figure, just because it kind of surprised me with how well it articulates and especially how good it looks. So we'll take a look at some of the details. You can see right there where the yellow painting overlaps, so that's kind of unfortunate. It's on both sides. It's kind of worse on one side than the other. There is also some paint scratches right here on the back leg. Some paint scratches. It was like that. And some of the sculpting down here with the fur on the legs, then on the belly and the chest. They also sculpted the details on the bottoms of the hands and feet, or the bottoms of the feet, whatever you want to call it. They also nicely sculpted his sort of facial hair, whatever you want to call it, his beard. And this figure does have 2 different head sculpts right now. He's got the scared expression, which does have an articulated mouth, which is really cool. The painting on the teeth is not that great though. You can see the red poking through, so it looks kind of pink, and it's just a messy paint application for the bottom teeth there. But it's still really cool that they included that. You can also see the red hinge for the inside of the mouth, so that's also kind of unfortunate. And some sort of red paint on his beard right there, if you guys can see that. So this figure is a lot more sloppier than the Prince Adam one, or really any other figure from this line. Those are some light green paint right there. And yeah, so it's just kind of messy in places, but in other places overall it's pretty messy paint application throughout the entire figure. Where this figure really surprised me was actually in the articulation. So we do have 2 points of articulation in the neck. You got a ball joint in the head, and the head is very easy to take off. It's made out of this a lot softer plastic. Dumbbell joint allows you to look down that far. You're not going to get a whole lot of up, but you can look, pretty much like straightforward. And then it also can rotate, so you can get some expressiveness out of the character. And it does sort of go left to right a little bit, not a whole lot. So that's good. Then at the base of the neck, it goes down a little bit further, so you can fully look down that far, and then looking up. And it helps more in looking up, so you can look up that far. And if you wanted to get even more, you can switch the neck around, and then he can really like crane his neck up there. So that's just an interesting thing if you want to do that. But combined with the head articulation, you can get a decent amount of articulation from that whole setup. The jaw opens up that wide, so you can really get like a shocked expression out of him. And then it closes, not completely, but closes enough. Now for the torso or the chest area, it's not as good as it could have been, I feel like. Definitely could have been a lot better. It does swivel side to side. It does go up and down, not a whole lot, but that is there. And then it does rotate. You get a full 360 out of that. The shoulders, again, pretty hindered, so you can't get his arms flat to the sides, but you can move them out that far, and you can move them, forward that far. It's kind of hard to rotate all the way around. I don't want to try because it might break or scratch the plastic or something. So you got a single joint elbow, you can hinge and swivel, and then the ankles, same thing, you get really good amount of range out of that. So same thing with the back legs, don't move out. It doesn't move out that far. You can actually rotate this leg all the way around without it being hindered by the sculpt. So that's cool. You can do like a stop motion where he's running, he's rotating his legs like that. So that's pretty cool. Single joint knees. Then he has another point of articulation here at the top of the ankle, where that hinges, then also swivels. Then at the bottom of the ankle, same thing, hidden swivel. So really decent amount of articulation, and that allows for decent poses. It is hindered here and there, and I did show you that. And by the way, his tail also has a hinge and swivel as well. So it's also nice that they included that. Like I was saying, it is hindered in some places, so you can't really recreate some of the same poses that he did in the cartoon, but it is decent enough to get close enough to getting that kind of expressiveness, that the kind of expressions that he showed in the cartoon. And the other alternate head is just a neutral face with one tooth sticking out. It's also nicely done. The paint application on this one turned out a lot better than the other one, so that's nice. So now we'll get into some of the fun things that you can do with these figures. So like I said, I bought this for my Masterverse collection, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'll bring in my 40th anniversary He-Man right there, and then my custom Prince Adam Masterverse right there. And one of the things I really wanted this 2-pack for was, again, just for this head sculpt. Also wanted to see if this jacket will fit on there, and we're gonna see if it fits or not. The head, of course, fits. I've shown this off before on my Instagram, and here's how this head sculpt looks on the Masterverse body. Classic He-Man. You can't really go wrong with this. Now we'll see if we can put the jacket on him. So taking the jacket off is very simple. The limbs come off, so there's a jacket taken off. Then taking my custom pink jacket off. Now we'll see if the other one will fit. So it actually does fit a lot better than I expected, but you can't close the clasp at the bottom of the jacket. I was thinking, you cut this tab off and then just have like a black piece of plastic, like the belt is kind of holding it together. So that is one option if you want to try that. I'm not sure if I want to do that yet, but that's how it looks. So it's almost like perfect, but it just doesn't close all the way. Now besides that, if it did fit perfectly on the figure, that would be awesome. You know, it's close, not close enough though, but you know, with some work you could make it look a lot better. And there's the other head sculpt on the He-Man figure. This is sort of the way I like to display my He-Man figures. Now, comparing Cringer, I don't have the Masterverse Cringer. I think he was way too out of scale. He was like way too huge, and it looks like he would take up so much space. But I do have the Origins Cringer, and here's what that figure looks like. So this is the Battle Cat or Cringer. Then he has the armor pieces, so you can make him into Battle Cat. And so this is how he looks like next to a Masterverse. Now this is my preferred scaling for Battle Cat and He-Man. I thought the Masterverse one was way too big, and I don't mind the size of the Origins one with the Masterverse figures. So I think this looks really cool. And the Origins Battle Cat, of course, way bigger than the new Cartoon Collection one, but I kind of don't mind that. That doesn't bother me that much, honestly. I actually kind of prefer having a smaller Cringer, you know, and then he gets bigger when he becomes a Battle Cat. That makes sense. I don't like the idea of Cringer being like massive. You know, Battle Cat can be massive, but Cringer, he's got to be a little bit smaller. That kind of fits more with his character and his personality. So this scaling right here actually doesn't bother me that much. You guys let me know what you think. Does this bother you? Would you like this in your collection? And also, if you were wondering, and the Battle Cat armor does not fit onto the Cartoon Collection Cringer. It's just way too big and looks kind of goofy. So just in case you wanted to know if that worked or not, it doesn't work. Here's Masterverse He-Man on Cringer, and you can see that doesn't work. It looks kind of goofy. And there's the Cartoon Collection Prince Adam on Cringer. So there's what that looks like. And eventually they're going to release Battle Cat, which is probably going to be this exact same Cringer with the armor on him. So this kind of gives you an idea what that would look like. He kind of looks a little bit too small to be Battle Cat, in my opinion, especially considering how much bigger the Origins Battle Cat is. But you guys let me know what you think about that. Do you think they should scale the Battle Cat up a little bit, or should it be this exact same figure with the Battle Cat armor? And here's the Cringer head sculpt on Marvel Legends Hulk body. And this is actually kind of sick. And that's it. You guys let me know what you think about these figures. Let me know if you got them, what you think about them. And there's Prince Adam laughing or dying. And that's it. See you in the next one.